Hi, Fran. So, Fran, what's new in life? Write me an essay. Seems like very few people sign in on time, I've noticed. So, I will wait 30 minutes. What do you think? Yuck, yuck, yuck. Come on, Fran, are you there? You're the only one there, I think. I'm making all these jokes just for you. So, Fran, if you have your A Course in Miracles book, you can grab it and go to page 31. So I am going to read to you, and again, it's page 31 from A Course in Miracles. It's in the text, and it's on cause and effect. Good morning, Marianne and Stephanie. Yeah, sunshine. Lollipop. So you remember that song? Sunshine Lollipop? Sunshine, lollipop, and rainbows. I don't know the rest of it. Okay, so I'm going to read from A Course in Miracles, page 31. So if you happen to have it with you, you can grab it. It's on cause and effect. And this is it. You may complain about fear, but you nevertheless persist in making yourself fearful. So if, let's take a number of scenarios. If you watch the news, you're going to be fearful. Now, you may convince yourself or try to convince yourself that you are doing this to stay informed or you're doing this to be educated. And I would say it's impossible to be educated by watching the news because the news is based in fear, and that's actually therefore based in ignorance, not education. So you may change your argument and say, well, I just want to be informed. Well, you can find out everything that's going on just by listening to other people talk. Even though we're in isolation, you still know what's going on. So if you are fearful, we tend to persist in making ourselves fearful. So I'm going to continue. I have already indicated that you cannot ask me to release you from fear. I know it does not exist, but you do not. So if I intervened between your thoughts and their results, I would be tampering with a basic law of cause and effect, the most fundamental law there is. I would hardly help you if I depreciated the power of your own thinking. This would be in direct opposition to the purpose of this course. And one of the purposes of this course is to help you realize that you create your own world. The world is not out there, the world is inside, and the thoughts and feelings you have, which create your beliefs, therefore create the outside world, and you project your perceptions. By projecting your perceptions, you see with the physical eyes that which you think is out there, but it's an illusion, or it's illusory. For some of us to think that what's out there is an illusion is a quantum leap to even think that way. But if you listen to Greg Braden, or you even listen to Dr. Joe Dispenza will say it seldom, but he says it. He'll usually say it only at his advanced retreats. This is an illusion. Course in Miracles all throughout says this is an illusion. Everything here is an illusion. And Greg Braden will speak about it a little more readily. And so does Dr. Bruce Lipton. They all know, and many of the mainline alternative speakers know that we're in a dream, okay? But even though we're in a dream, we gotta get out of it, and you don't do it by being fearful. So, where was I? It's much more helpful to remind you that you do not guard your thoughts carefully enough. You may feel that at this point it would take a miracle to enable you to do this. In other words, it would take a miracle for you to be mindful, and that would be true. It will take a miracle. You are not used to miracle-minded thinking, but you can be trained to think that way. All miracle workers need that kind of training. That's kind of good to know. I cannot let you leave your thoughts unguarded. Leave your mind unguarded, or you will not be able to help me. And remember, this is A Course in Miracles. This is Jesus speaking directly to us. Miracle working entails a full realization of the power of thought in order to avoid miscreation. So if you are fearful, you are miscreating. If you are love and loving and in love, not with another human being, but you are in the state of love, you are creating. If you are in a state of fear, you are miscreating, but you are always creating or making. So in A Course in Miracles, it differentiates. If you are aligned with spirit, you are creating. If you are aligned with ego, you are making. Okay? And there's a huge difference. The creator creates. Okay? And fear is not part of its creation. If there is fear, there is a lack of love. So I'll go back to, for those of you who have the book, page 14, in this one, I call it a poem that I love to read. Perfect love casts out fear. If fear exists, then there is not perfect love. But only perfect love exists. If there is fear, it produces a state that does not exist. Well, yes, it does. I'm fearful. Well, it exists between your ears. Well, it exists with all these other people. Yep, between their ears. But fear was not created by the Creator. We call the Creator God. It's something that we made. We didn't create fear, we miscreated. We made fear. Okay? I cannot let you leave your mind unguarded, or you will not be able to help me. Miracle working entails a full realization of the power of thought in order to avoid miscreation. Otherwise, a miracle will be necessary to set the mind itself straight. A circular process that would not foster the time collapse for which the miracle was intended. In the beginning of the book, A Course in Miracles, there are 50 miracle principles, and one of the miracle principles is miracles collapse time. So if you are someone who's, I'll use this example. If you are someone who's just going through life and you're unawares, and things happen to you, and you're not the creator of your life, you're the victim, then you're going to have a lot of opportunities down the road to continue to be the victim or to change. You're going to have a lot of life opportunities. You're going to have a lot of lives to live to continue down one path or the other. And the more you continue down the path of things happening to you, in other words, you're the victim, whether it's positive or negative, you're the victim, the more you're going to have the opportunity to have those situations occur so that you can change your mind and start living in a world of love. Start living in the mind of love, in the thought of love, in the feeling of love. If you keep living in the feelings of love, then you will not require as many opportunities to get out of the fear mode. It'll start to slow down. You will not require as many lifetimes. Miracles collapse time. So the more you go on the path of adhering to or being in the state of love, the less you'll have a need to have all the opportunities to bring you to that, because you're already there. So it's a real weak example of miracles collapsing time. The miracle worker must have genuine respect for true cause and effect as a necessary condition for the miracle to occur. Another principle of miracles is this. Not only do miracles collapse time, but miracles, how do I want to say this? Miracles, there's no level of difficulty amongst miracles. So that also means there's no level of difficulty amongst problems. So some of us in this audience, some of us out there in the world, most of us have friends that we can think of regarding this. Some friends have bigger problems than others. There's no level of difficulty amongst problems. It doesn't exist. It's a fabrication. It's part of the ego mind that believes, oh, my problem's bigger than your problem, or your problem's way bigger than mine. Of course you feel that way because you got a huge problem. And that's simply not the case. Levels don't exist except in the ego world, which is where we live, and we're trying to get out of that branding, that thinking, that modeling, and get to a place where everything's the same. So there's no level of difficulty amongst miracles. So having a minor miracle and a major miracle there's no difference between the two, because miracles come only from and always from love, and love is always maximal. Problems and illness and dis-ease and disease and frustration and anger and hatred and so on always come from fear, and fear is always maximal. There's no lesser fear and greater fear. Okay? It's a principle that if you even begin to understand that principle, that one principle of miracles, it can help you to get over some of your problems. Because that problem, those 15 problems you have, and one is a really big one, isn't true. They're all the same. They all come from fear. Okay? Miracles all are the same. They all come from love. Love is maximal. Yeah? Got it? Okay. Both miracles and fear come from thoughts. If you are not free to choose one, you would also not be free to choose the other. By choosing the miracle, you have rejected fear, even if it's only temporarily. So when a miracle worker performs a miracle, it's ordinarily done by someone who's ordinary, like you and I. But they're in the right mind, and they can perform a miracle because they're aligned with the divine, and they can actually heal someone else. They can actually take care of this problem by aligning, even if it's temporarily. That's the cool thing. The miracle recipient does not have to be aligned, does not have to be in their right mind. They only have to be open to the possibility. And I'm taking that from other sections in this book, A Course in Miracles. So, you have been fearful of everyone and everything. You are afraid of God. You are afraid of me. You are afraid of yourself. You have misperceived or miscreated. And you believe in what you have made. You would not have done this if you were not afraid of your own thoughts. This is pretty heavy, and we need to, we're like, reread this, reread this over and over. The fearful must miscreate because they misperceive creation. The fearful miscreate. The loving create. You understand the distinction? When you miscreate, you are in pain. The cause and effect principle now becomes a real expediter. Actually, cause is a term properly belonging to the Creator, and effect to his child, you and me. This entails a set of cause and effect relationships totally different from those you introduce into miscreation. The fundamental conflict in this world, then, is between creation and miscreation. All fear is implicit in miscreation, and love is implicit in creation. So the conflict really is therefore between love and fear. I'm going to stop there. So, you've heard me talk about angel, devil, right? Higher self or ego, spirit or ego. You have to choose which one you align with. Now, most of the time we believe we align with spirit, and if the history of our planet is accurate, and that is 93% of our planet's history we have been at war, then maybe we have not always aligned with spirit as much as we think we have. Now, some of us have, but as a civilization, war is not loving. War would be aligned with fear. So we have to kind of revisit, where are we coming from? And those are the questions that we've had 6 weeks opportunity to do. We've been alone for 6 weeks for the most part, relative to what we were doing prior to then. We've had the opportunity to take time by ourselves, go for a walk and think. When you go for a walk, don't put your headphones on, unless you're doing a walking meditation like we do every Sunday morning. But when you go for a walk, be by yourself if you can, and listen to your thoughts and observe and pay attention. Are you thinking in a certain direction all the time? And if you are, you might want to, and you don't like what you're thinking and hence feeling, then you need to just reevaluate and perhaps make some changes. The cool thing is, you don't have to beat yourself up in order to change. You don't have to feel guilty. You don't have to feel shame. There should be no blame involved. You just make a change. You eventually, in your life, get to a point where you can just make a decision to go here as opposed to staying on this path, if this path doesn't serve you or anyone else. There's tools that you draw from in your toolbox, such as, am I following the golden rule? Am I doing things that are helpful for myself and for others? Not just for myself selfishly, but can this be applied to everyone and everything? The direction I go in, so therefore the decisions I make, the thoughts I have, the feelings I feel. Do you do that when you go for a walk? Do you do that at any other time during the day? And then that self-reflection should lead to some sort of change. And the change is to be based in love. Not, I'm in love with so-and-so. A state of being love. Okay, agape love, God-like love, where you elevate from this level as opposed to this level. Make any sense to you? Okay. So, where are we, time-wise? Let's all go inside.
Wi-Fi isn't set up on this device.
And
You can
I
find
said
instructions
something
in
that
your
Alexa
section
thinks
of your Alexa app.
called her. Hold on a second. And I don't even have Alexa here, so it must be spirits or something. Okay, so I do have Alexa here. Oh shoot, I shouldn't say that. Anyway, so let's close your eyes and get yourself comfortable. Do all the physical things you need to do so that you can take the physical body out of play so it doesn't interrupt when you meditate. Interestingly, you want to have a philosophy, a psychology, and a physiology that's all on the same path. It's all unified. So that if you think you'd like to be a healer, you can in fact actually heal. And that's a process. So eyes are closed. Breathing through your nose, relaxing the physical body with every means you know of, and breathing through the nose is one of those. Just relax. Relax into your seat. Get comfortable with the posture you're in. Lift up your sternum so you open up your heart a little more. Observe your breathing slowing down, your breath becoming deeper on both the inhale and the exhale becomes more complete. Now, as you breathe, I want you to go right down to the root chakra, your first chakra, your first energy center. And I want you to focus in right there. That's a power source in the physical body. That energetic center, part of your energy body, which exists within and around your physical body, is a tremendous power source. I want you to awaken it by just bringing your attention there. It's subtle if you're not familiar with this. Make it come alive just by bringing your attention to that area. It's right at the tip of the tailbone. When it comes alive, you may feel it tingling or buzzing, vibrating, pulsing. Now begin to move your attention up the spine, and we call this the Sushumna. It's an energy channel. Move up very slowly, very, very slowly. Till you get to the second energy center. Keep moving up. Bring the energy from the first center up into the second center. And if this is something that's new to you, use your imagination. Your imagination is very powerful. It's your thoughts, it's your thinking. It's extremely powerful. Use it to your benefit. Continue to carry that energy up the spine to the third center, which is your solar plexus region. Grab hold of that area, infuse it also with the energy from the first and second energy center. Continue to carry it upwards till you get to that miraculous area in the body called the heart center. In the chest, both the heart, which is a gland, as well as an entire nervous system, as well as a muscle, and the thymus gland, sometimes known as the upper heart. You're going to bring the energy from the first three centers right there and let it create this an amazing vibration. Keep your attention, your full focus in the heart energy center. We're going to stay here for a little bit. As you're focused here, you're going to breathe, and you're going to switch your breathing from your nostrils, which is where it's going. It's going physically, it's going in and out of your nostrils. But energetically and attention-wise, you're going to imagine your heart area is breathing. Eyes remain closed, you remain inside. You keep your focus where it is right now in the heart center. You wander, you come back. If you think there's a lot of steps to this that we're doing right now, just remember that you all drive a car and there's more steps to doing that simultaneously. So keep your attention where it is. Breathe in and out of your heart center. Now let's add something to that. Elevate your emotions. Feel good. Feel better. Feel amazing. Bring that thought and that corresponding feeling into this process. Open up the floodgates. Let your body begin to tingle. Now we're going to take this energy, we're going to continue to move it up the channel. Move it up from the chest into the throat. This is your throat energy center, your fifth energy center. This is where you speak your truth. And the truth is with a capital T because you've just married it with the heart. Now coming from the heart into your voice. And this is where you, when you speak your truth. Now bring it up, keep moving up. And we're going to go into what we call the third eye or the sixth energy center. And from here, imagine that you're going to beam outwardly in a small cone shape that's becoming larger and larger and larger as it moves away from the physical body. And you're beaming what? You're using the power from that first energy center, qualified by the love and the compassion and understanding and wisdom from the heart center, all the way out through that sixth energy center, out into the world. Your job right now is to bless everybody on this planet. This is your job, your function right at this moment. You have been called to do this, and you are the ones doing this. So stay strong, stay focused. Open up the heart even more and let it come right through the third eye. Touch people you know and people you don't know. This is impersonal. This is not just the people you like. This is everybody. And what you are doing right now does in fact have an effect. So qualify it with elevated emotions. Qualify it with the love you have. The love you have for the people you love the most, send it out to everybody. The compassion that's always in your heart, send it outwardly. The gratitude you have for others, for animals, for your garden, for your plants, for the life you have, send it out and give it to other people. Let them feel exactly what you feel. Keep it going. Do not stop. Do not falter. Keep the energy, the power of this moving, moving up and out. And as you're doing this, you're regenerating and reinfusing yourself. You're creating a torus effect that showers down upon you, hits the ground around you, the floor around you, and then comes right back into the physical body, up the spine, through the heart, qualified through the third eye, outwardly, and you're touching millions and millions of people, literally. All healing has an effect. It goes outwardly. It's not up to you what happens to it once it leaves you. Your job is just to send it out. Know and have full confidence that what you are doing has an effect. You are the cause. And the primal cause behind your cause is the divine. You align with the divine and you create an effect. Great job, everyone. Come back to yourself. Take your hands, place them on your heart center. Be confident that what you just did actually works. Be confident. Have no doubts. If you have doubts, that's what you need to work on when you go for your walks. Without headphones, by yourself. And you get into some of the stuff, as I call it. And you let go of the stuff. And you replace it with love, compassion, understanding, appreciation, gratitude. You name it. Anything that's way up there. Thank you for your time today. May the rest of your day be as blessed as you created it right now. Thank you. Namaste.